So hi everyone, today we would be talking about the concept of polling and streaming. So we will see what is the difference between polling and streaming, and at the very end we are going to understand with it with the help of an example. So let's start. So we will take the simple server client architecture, like we have been talking about it from the very beginning. So suppose this is your client and this is your server as usual. Now, in this context, imagine this, that in every 5 seconds, you are asking for some data from the server, and server is giving you back in every 5 seconds. Now, this exact concept that you are fetching a resource or piece of data regularly at an interval that can be of 5 seconds, that can be of 10 seconds, that can be of 15 seconds, to make sure that your data is not too stale, that it is not the thing you want to display that was old, is known as polling. So example, let's understand it through this way, that the updates on a app data displaying every 10 seconds. Suppose you are on a e-commerce website. So suppose this is the website and this is a product X and it has 10 quantities. Now after every 10 seconds, it is going to fetch data that, okay, is this quantity reduced to 8, 7, something like that. So that suppose a user comes to buy this product X, is not able to buy it because of the reason that the data was stale. So this was the whole concept of polling. Now we are going to talk about streaming. So let's talk about streaming. So streaming is not too much different. Just like polling, it was taking data in a fashion manner of any X seconds, at any particular time interval. Streaming is just opposite. Suppose this is your client, this is your server. Now suppose continuous streaming of data is there. Like from this particular server, you are taking data every second, like every millisecond you are taking data, and it is happening continuously, it is not stopping. So this whole concept is known as streaming. So if you want to understand streaming in a nutshell, you can think it like this. In networking, it usually refers to the act of continuously getting a feed of information from a server by keeping an open connection between the two machines or processes. For this, let's think of an example like data streaming continuously during a chat going on between users on WhatsApp. Suppose this is the interface of WhatsApp, this is user 1 and this is user 2. Now there is a continuous stream of data from 1 to 2 and 2 to 1. So this is a perfect example of streaming. So now coming to an example that how these two are different and why, like what is the real life use of them. So suppose you have a chat application where users can send messages to each other. Now the problem is you want to update the user interface. You want to update the user interface with new messages as soon as they are sent. Suppose hi is sent here and hi is replied from here. Now client side, every few seconds, suppose the client requests from the server, this is the whole server, and it requests every 5 seconds that are there any new messages for me. Now the server side will check there are any new messages, and if yes, it will send them back in the response. If no, it will send an empty response. Now it is very simple to implement, right? You just request and it gives back. But it creates a lot of network traffic. You keep asking the server for updates even if there are none. So for this, streaming comes into play. The client establishes a WebSocket to the server. And when a new message is sent to the user, the server pushes it directly to the relevant client through established WebSocket connection. So this can be so much easy. It provides a real-time update and is efficient. Yeah, it can be a bit complicated to implement and manage, but obviously it's so much good. So this was the concept of polling and streaming. You guys can study it about in detail, how they are used in the backend, like what is the code for them. Like some basic code is actually available online. Guys can go and run it on their systems and understand the basic code implementation. So yes, that was it. In the next video, we are going to talk about configurations, rate limiting, DOS attacks, and a lot of other things. So thank you and have a nice day.